another each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Afternoon, everyone. I apologize. I wasn't quite ready, but I almost am here. There we go. This one's going to be a little bit tougher. I didn't do my lighting either. This is what happens when other things are going on. And yes, I'm waiting for some people to show up too. Although I'm kind of doing this at a weird time. So, but people will be able to watch the rewatch also. Let's go ahead and start out with if you are here, whether it's for the rewatch or the live, please say hello. If you like something I say, give me a thumbs up or a heart. If you don't like something I say, put up that wow or emoji emoticon or something. Right? Because every time you do that, it tells YouTube and Facebook to share my stuff more. So, all right, we got one. It's gonna be a tough one. So if you guys just, I just ask for your patience. We lost somebody. We found out about this yesterday. I'm gonna let you know. I know of this person. I didn't know them personally, but I know of them. And the fact that I know of them in my field is pretty good. But the hard part for me is there's so our friends over at Tribal Experience Corner, Lisa Carlson. You guys know Lisa. She is she's been on my podcast several times. She's all over my page. Does a lot of advocating for us. A lot of advocating. That's what these guys do. You know, have you noticed how things have been freeing up for us and now we have new things and stuff? Yeah, it's because of people like this that was doing this for us. I'm going to let you guys know what happened. And this is going to be kind of tough. All right? But this is life. If you don't know, then you might make the same mistake. All right? So our friend was having some back pain, severe back pain, man. And his name is Derek Scott. Okay? Looks like a great guy. Actually, he looks like he's a lot of fun. Actually, I've been on his page and stuff. He was having some back pain, and a friend of them gave them one of their pills. Unfortunately, and this is from what we know, unfortunately, this pill was laced with fentanyl. If you guys are not familiar with fentanyl, what a horrible, horrible, horrible fucking drug. Unfortunately, we use it a lot. They just gave my wife fentanyl for colonoscopy earlier, right? So it's used in certain situations, but a little bit over, okay? And all these drugs that are coming out from these, from places that are making them, I mean, you can even buy the stamps, okay? But what I want to cover on this is this. Did he die sober? You bet your ass he did. And if I hear any pushback on that, we're going to have a nice discussion. Okay? Because I can tell you right now, 95% of you have done the same. You're just not willing to admit it. Okay? Guess what? I need to take meds at certain times, like Ativan. Another nasty drug, right? Yeah. It is. Highly addictive. You want to know why? Because when you're on it, you feel drunk. That's why. That's why it's so addictive. It gives you that same feeling. But there are times when my blood pressure is so high that it will kill me. And if I don't have something, it brings it down. So what I did is I got with my primary care physician. I got with a therapist. And what they did is they got me on other meds so that I didn't have to utilize Ativan. Right. And what that does is it gives me the chance to work on those things. Right. This man put a lot in. I'm I wanted to give it 5 minutes, but I'm gonna want to go a little bit through. I'm gonna go through some of his posts here. It's sad the way our societies is they all take a one kind soul. If you choose wisely, that soul will continue to pass along what was given to them. But most days, people just want to take shit. They don't want to give back that was what was given to them or anybody else. It might sound cliche, but live life to the fullest. Life is too short. Don't let people into your life that don't intend to do anything good for you or for them. This guy had some great boundaries. Before you know it, you'll be looking back on the day, wishing you could have said something different or did something different. But that should have, would have, could have regret. If you feel that way, change it ASAP. People come into our lives. Some intend to do good. Others intend to do damage. It is up to us to read the body language and the facial expressions on what their intentions truly are. Really, if you read between the lines, you should have no problem reading the invisible. This is some good stuff. The other thing that I know is that Derek was very, very giving. And I guess, he used to take the staff and people that normally wouldn't go and stuff and take them, jet skiing and horseback riding. And these things are very, very important, especially people that are coming out of the system, coming out and understanding that there is a life there for them. Okay. So when these men and women are getting out of prison, they're coming along and they're meeting somebody like him and they're putting a roof over their head. They're advocating to help them get a job. They're feeding their family. I can't tell you how grateful I am to Lisa Carlson and her whole group. So from everybody here at Trudging Together, Derek, God bless you. We love you. I love you. And we love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything you did for us. All right. Let's get to the daily reflection before Dion starts crying for the last 7 minutes. All right. Fear and faith. The achievement of freedom from fear is a lifetime undertaking, one that can never be wholly completed. When under heavy attack, acute illness, or in other condition of serious insecurity, we shall all react to this emotion, well or badly, as the case may be. Only the self-deceived will claim perfect freedom from fear. I certainly have a lot less fears than I did. I do, but I still have a fear of spiders, fear of snakes. I have a fear that I would lose my wife. You bet I have that fear. Losing loved ones, yeah, those are some of my biggest fears. Losing me again, yeah, that one doesn't sit right in my stomach either, right? So we finally saw that faith in some kind of was part of our makeup. Sometimes we had to search persistently. He was there. He was as much a fact as we were. We found the great reality deep within us. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 55. So let's go there and do a little bit of reading. We found two. So it looks like, here we go. Imagine life without faith. Without nothing left but pure reason. It wouldn't be life, but we believed in life. Of course we did. Isn't that bigger than you? karma. I love it when I hear an agnostic say, well, karma is going to get you. Is that bigger than you? You're not allowed to believe in that. All right. See how we can. It's an oxymoron. That was the only word that I could come up with. We could not prove life in the sense that you could prove a straight line is the shortest distance between 2 points. Yet there it was. Could we still say the whole thing was nothing but a mass of electrons created out of nothing, meaning nothing, whirling onto a destiny of nothingness? Of course we couldn't. The electrons themselves seem more intelligent than that, at least so the chemists said. Hence we saw that reason isn't everything. Neither is reason, as most of us use it, entirely dependable, though it emanate from our best minds. What about people who prove that man could never fly? Yet we have been seeing another kind of flight, a spiritual liberation from this world, people who rose above their problems. They said God made these things possible, and we only smiled. We had seen spiritual release, but liked to tell ourselves it wasn't true. All right. For me, I didn't tell myself that it wasn't true. I said, you don't get to have that. I didn't feel I was deserving of it because I had all this information from the time I was 15 and I abused it. I had 12 years sober and I started abusing it. And that was a shame that it took me a long time to get over that. It really did. Actually, we were fooling ourselves, for deep down in every man, woman, and child is the fundamental idea of God. Absolutely. Think about when you were younger. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate it. That's right. We talk about that a lot in our meeting, that fear and faith can't live in the same room. And but think back about, how discovering new things was so much fun, like going to the amusement park. I remember the last day that I lived in Utah. Well, the second to last day, my brother and I, we went to Lagoon, and we rode the bus down to Salt Lake on pennies. We entered in on pennies. And I don't remember actually being at the park or doing any of that. It was the adventure that my brother and I went on by ourselves, going to Salt Lake City and back. He was 11. I was 9. 70s were a lot different, right? But that's the part that I remember because I hadn't done that before. It was my first time, right? That next day, the day before we left, I heard Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 for the first time in my life at the age of 9, 1979, right? And I remember that specifically. I even went up to the guy and said, "Hey, what's the name of the song?" And we got to Colorado, and people were like, "What are you playing?" I'm like, "They're Pink Floyd, don't you know?" So, for faith in a power greater than ourselves and the miraculous demonstrations of that power in human lives are facts as old as man himself. We finally saw that faith in some kind of God was part of our makeup, just as the feeling for having a friend. Sometimes we had to search fearlessly, but he was there. He was as much a fact as we were. We found the great reality deep down within us. In the last analysis, it is only there that he may be found. It was so with us. There's something okay. So it says here, sometimes we had to search fearlessly, but he was there. Okay. That's an option. Okay. Willingness was my key to God. Am I willing to let God take away my misery? Because that was the price I paid. Okay. I gave up my anger and my misery for happiness and freedom. I felt that was a pretty good trade. Okay. And we were going into my 4th step, and my sponsor turned to me and he said, "Okay, Dion, this is where we make the decision. We either move forward and we start the action of the program, or I refund your misery. And I told him, you can keep it. I have so much fun calling him every year saying, I steal silver is what I'm doing now. He loves it. Fear has caused suffering when I could have had more faith. There are times when fear suddenly tears me apart, just when I'm experiencing feelings of joy, happiness, and a lightness of heart. We're talking about the pink cloud in the meaning. Okay. Pink cloud is an individual thing. I'm going to have to cover that on its own there. But here, sometimes life's going to fucking smack you upside the head unexpectedly, and it's going to be tough. That's okay. That's okay. That really, I promise you, it's okay. You don't need to drink over it, right? Awesome, right? We don't need to drink or drug over it, okay? We have God in our lives. Now, let's say you end up caught in the trap for half the day. Before you used to do it for weeks and weeks and weeks. That's progress, guys. You really got to give yourself credit where credit is due, okay? If you have stayed sober for anything like 24 hours because you wanted this, it's okay to pat yourself on the back. Just don't break your arm doing it, okay? And at first, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you'll get used to it. Well, I promise you will. Faith in the feeling of self-worth toward a higher power helps me endure tragedy and ecstasy. Ecstasy being the other side of tragedy. You won't see me there either. Why? Because that's party mode, guys. Okay? Pink cloud and ecstasy are much different. Okay? Ecstasy is the experience of overwhelming happiness, usually requires a drug. Okay? A pink cloud is spiritual progress. It is like getting on the bus and going to Lagoon with your brother on a new adventure. That's why you feel that way. Because you're 2 years old again. Grab hold of that, man. Live with it. I better hurry up. I got a meeting in 10 minutes. Oh, I finished that. So I guess we're done. All right, guys. I'll be back for daily reflection tomorrow, and it'll be in the morning. I won't be late tomorrow. Again, my heart goes out to Trouble Experience Corner, Derek's friends and family. God bless you all. And if there's anything Trudging Together can do for you, don't hesitate to ask. We will do it. I love you guys. Peace out and have a day.